I was trained to kill without hesitation. No mercy. No attachments. My hands had taken 17 lives before I turned 20. I was the Shadow Order's deadliest weapon. A ghost that walked among men, invisible and unstoppable. My target was Kaelen, the Alpha King of the Nightfang pack. They said he was ruthless, that he had slaughtered entire rogue packs without blinking. They said he feared nothing and no one. The Shadow Order paid me 50 gold coins, enough to retire forever. The mission was simple: infiltrate his castle, gain his trust, and drive a silver dagger through his heart on the night of the new moon. I arrived at his gates disguised as a wandering healer. My hands, trained to kill, carried dried herbs and bandages instead of blades. The guards let me in without question. The castle was sick. A plague had swept through the pack, killing wolves and humans alike. They needed a healer. I did not expect to find him standing in the courtyard, watching the sunset with a child in his arms. Kaelen was not a monster. He was a father. The little girl was maybe 5 years old, with dark curls and his storm-gray eyes. She was coughing, weak, her small body trembling. He held her like she was made of glass, whispering soft words into her hair. Something in my chest cracked. I had never been held like that. I had never known a father's love. I was taken from my mother at 6 and raised in darkness, taught to hate, taught to kill, taught that the world was cruel, and I must be crueler. But Kaelen was not cruel. He was desperate. That night, I treated his daughter. My healing was real. The Shadow Order had trained me in poisons, but I had studied medicine in secret, dreaming of a life I could never have. I mixed herbs, brewed potions, and sat beside the child's bed until her fever broke. Kaelen watched me the whole time. When dawn came and his daughter opened her eyes, he fell to his knees before me. "Name your price," he said. "Gold, land, anything." I looked into his storm-gray eyes and lied. I asked for nothing. But my heart, my foolish, untrained heart, had already named its price. Days turned into weeks. I healed the sick, bandaged the wounded, and pretended I was not counting down the days until the new moon. But every night, Kaelen found me. He brought me food, asked about my past, listened when I spoke. He did not push, he did not demand, he simply stayed. One evening, he took me to the gardens behind the castle. Moonflowers bloomed in the darkness, their petals glowing silver. "My wife died giving birth to Lyra," he said quietly. "I have been alone for 3 years. I thought I would never feel anything again." I said nothing. I could not tell him that I, too, had never felt anything until him. He turned to face me. "You are not just a healer." My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" "Healers do not move like you do. They do not scan a room for exits. They do not check their shadows before sleeping." He stepped closer. "I know what you are." My hand went to the dagger hidden in my sleeve. "But I also know," he continued, "that you saved my daughter when no one else could. That you stayed when you could have run. That you look at me like I am a man, not a king." I could not breathe. "Who sent you?" he asked. I did not answer. He reached out and touched my cheek, a feather-light touch, warm and terrifying. "I do not care who sent you. I care that you are here." I should have killed him then. The new moon was still 3 nights away. I had time. I had the dagger, but I did not move. He leaned in and pressed his forehead to mine. "Stay," he whispered. "Not because you have to, because you want to." For the first time in my life, I wanted to stay. The new moon came. I stood outside his chamber door, the silver dagger in my hand. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would break my ribs. I had killed 17 people. 17. One more should have been nothing. But Kaelen was not nothing. He opened the door before I could knock. He looked at the dagger in my hand, then at my face. "I know," he said. "You knew all along?" "From the first night." He stepped aside. "Come in." I did not move. "Why didn't you kill me?" "Because the moon goddess does not make mistakes." He reached out and took my hand. The hand holding the dagger meant for his heart. "You are my mate." The word hit me like a physical blow. Mate. The other half of a wolf's soul. The one person in all the world fated to complete them. "That's impossible," I whispered. I am human. No, he said. You are not. He pulled me into the room and held a mirror before my face. My eyes, my ordinary brown eyes, were glowing gold. The Shadow Order did not train you, he said. They suppressed you. You are a wolf, like me, and you have been running from yourself your whole life. I dropped the dagger. It clattered on the stone floor, and I fell to my knees. Kaelen knelt beside me. He did not speak. He simply held me while I shook, while I cried, while everything I thought I knew shattered into pieces. I don't know who I am, I whispered. You are mine, he said, and I am yours. The rest, we will learn together. The Shadow Order did not forgive betrayal. 3 nights later, they came. A dozen assassins surrounded the castle, their blades shining in the moonlight. They had come to finish what I could not. Kaelen stood beside me at the gate, his wolves flanking us. You do not have to fight, he said. You can walk away. They will not follow you. I will make sure of it. I looked at the assassins, my former brothers and sisters, and felt nothing. Then I looked at Kaelen, at his storm-gray eyes, at his daughter sleeping safely in the castle above, and felt everything. I am not walking away, I said. I shifted for the first time in my life. My bones cracked, my body twisted, and golden fur erupted from my skin. I was a wolf, not large like Kaelen, but fast, fierce, and finally free. The battle lasted hours. Blood soaked the ground. But when dawn broke, the Shadow Order lay broken, and I stood beside my mate, my chest heaving, my heart full. Kaelen pulled me into his arms. You are the deadliest thing I have ever loved. I laughed, a real laugh, raw and wild. And you are the only thing I have ever wanted to keep. He kissed me as the sun rose over the castle, and for the first time in my life, I was not a weapon. I was home. But shadows do not fade easily. Far away, in the ruins of the Shadow Order's stronghold, a single figure rose from the ashes. His eyes were cold, his voice like gravel. The girl who betrayed us has found her wolf, he said. Good. The hunt will be more interesting now. He smiled, and in the darkness, his own eyes glowed red. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find it. Drop a comment below. Would you have completed the mission or followed your heart? And if you're new here, tap subscribe and the bell so you never miss a story. I'll see you in the next one.